There he is.
It's a big boy.
It is a big boy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Cam. This is Zay, and we are here watching Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 2, The House of Black and White. I'm super excited to get into this one, but before we do, if you guys like what you're watching, make sure you leave a like down below and subscribe to stay tuned for more. If you're not already, you can hit that bell notification button to be notified the next time we upload a new video. And if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this and the next 5 episodes, that's right, 5 episodes, you can check all of those out on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description. With that being said, Zay, what do you remember from the previous episode?
As mentioned in the last reaction, you know, very, very cool premiere. Very different, it felt like. We kind of went into that more. If you guys didn't get to see the last reaction, go check it out. But definitely a different type of premiere where it felt more like a continuation of everything going on. Tyrion landed in Pentos with Varys talking to him about, you know, what if the next leader came from a good name, this, that, and the other thing, but then specifies it's not a him. Why don't we go to Meereen to see Daenerys? Speaking of Daenerys, we run into the issue of her still on the look for Drogon, but also several things occurring with the fighting pits wanting to be opened by some of the civilians from Meereen. She approaches her other 2 dragons, and they were pissed about being locked up. She's really, you know, she's got a lot on her plate. I think it's cool that they're showing she needs to learn how to be a leader, and that there's a lot of aspects to it. It's not just I take over. It's, you know, politicking. Yeah, so we had that happen. We got to see a little bit of Baelish and Sansa. Pretty brief. Wasn't anything too crazy. Yeah, I don't really have much to say on that, honestly. We got to see them. It was really, like, quick, honestly. I thought we were going to get a little bit more.
Well, we know that she is heading to, I think, to the Fingers.
Yeah.
With
I just thought, like,
Baelish.
I thought we were going to follow them a little bit more. Brienne and Podrick also was a brief. Very quick with them. Jon tries to plead with Mance to bend the knee. Mance refuses. And upon Mance getting burned at the stake, Jon actually mercies him and shoots him in the chest with an arrow, killing him. So we didn't get to see the repercussions. That actually closed out the episode. And then, you know, a little bit more of Cersei and Jaime kind of getting a tear between their relationship. Tywin is confirmed dead from what we see. Jaime saying everyone outside's an enemy right now. Cersei seems like she's starting to view him as an enemy as well, due to him, you know, kind of assisting her with Tyrion. You know, she said, like, he's an enemy to our family, this, that, and the other thing. So, I mean, yeah, with that being said, I feel like that was a pretty decent little run back through the episode. But, I mean, I'm ready to get into this.
Oh, small correction there. I don't think Littlefinger is actually going to the Fingers because that's where the Eyrie is. I think he told somebody he was going to the Fingers, but we don't know for sure exactly where they're heading, if I got that correct. If I'm wrong, just put it down in the comments, but Isaiah, just a heads up.
Okay.
Thank you guys for being here, and let's do it.
Don't be afraid. He's announcing our arrival.
Such a cool statue. I know, like you said, it's
taken from a real.
Yeah.
There was a real place. I mean, the statue's long gone, but I wish I could go back in time and see shit like this. Like, you know, the pyramids used to have like a all bronze tip. Like the tip.
Well, it's so impressive because they don't have cranes and shit.
Right? Like, how the fuck? Like, seriously, bro. Like, it's got to be aliens.
Fala Mogules.
That sounds
Okay,
loud.
plan B.
Jack and Hagar gave me this.
No one here by that name.
Jack, and you lied to me, you fucking asshole. Knocks on the white door, white dude pops out.
Jack and goes home after that moment. Yo, I gave another one a coin.
Dude, I gave her a coin, bro. She swears it's gonna work.
Cersei. Walder Frey. And Mountain. Meereen Trunk.
You know, our list is getting smaller. Joffrey's not on it anymore.
Yeah.
The Hound's not
That
on
one's
it
not on
anymore.
Don't do it.
You know, that coin could be useful if you ever are not in Braavos and need to get back to Braavos again.
Yeah, like it didn't have zero value. Like
They didn't take it. Right. They didn't.
Braavos.
It didn't cost you the coin. It seems like you could use it whenever. It's not like, you know, oh, yes, let me take you to Braavos and give me the coin so I can stamp it so people know next time.
Yeah, it's like a fucking passport. Like,
I'll have some.
Isn't that crazy?
Mhm.
She's right there.
A bunch of knights with him.
Bunch was a bunch, Podrick. 6, 20.
10, I think. Too many.
fucking Patrick smacks him. 15.
I will shield your back and keep your counsel and give my life for yours if need be.
I knew Kat from the time we were children. She never mentioned you.
It was after Renly's murder.
Ah, yes. You were accused of killing him.
I tried to save him.
And what did happen?
He was murdered by a shadow. Lady Sansa, if we can have a word alone.
No.
Oh,
Please, my lady, if I could explain.
I saw you at Joffrey's wedding, bowing to the king.
she's failing on all accounts. She can't win.
You should leave.
Poor Brienne, yo.
Yeah.
0 for 2.
Why don't you stay?
Come here, you motherfucker. All right, we're leaving.
Yeah, yeah. The horses are like, what? I thought she stabbed it in the chest.
for a
I was
second
like,
I did
oh
too.
my god.
It's like, I don't remember that.
Stop!
You a fucking idiot.
Come on! No, stop!
Oh. She's got to be so miserable.
Podrick's life is a series of unfortunate events that occurs.
Except for when he enters a whorehouse.
Yeah, when he enters a whorehouse, he fucking...
Okay, fine.
I was like...
Ooh.
He's asleep.
Filming that must have been so cool.
Bro, she broke his sword. That shit's shattered.
There are only 2 like it in the world. The one I'm wearing, the one I gave to Marcella.
The threat.
Of course it's a threat. Our daughter's alone in Dawn, surrounded by people who hate our family.
Uh-oh.
What was your caution brought? Our eldest child murdered at his own wedding. Our only daughter shipped off to Dawn. Our baby boy set to marry that smirking whore from Highgarden.
Your oldest son got killed because he's a prick. Let's not get him mistaken. Can't speak for the other 2, but...
Well, because when you got a prick in power, it puts you in a bit of a pickle.
Is there anything else, Your Grace?
You're going to Dawn.
This tear is getting crazy between them.
Alone.
Never said I was going alone.
I'm bringing Tyrion. She'd be like... she'd melt in her chair.
Lolis will be marrying Sir Willis Bracken.
You're going to come with me and help me with something important. And when we return, I'm going to give you a much better girl and a much better castle.
Could you imagine someone coming up to you with a piece of paper that says, she's not your wife anymore?
I'd be like, what?
But you've forgotten what it means. Someone who's forgotten fear has forgotten how to hide.
Shit!
He's a he's a fucking savage.
Fear is useful that way.
Graham's like, unsullied must learn fear. Scare me. That was a crazy, savage fucking move.
Could you imagine being on the other side of that, but like in where you're a good guy situation and the bad guy's like in the room and he's like, careful where you're looking or whatever, and then fucking shanks your leg like through the closet door.
I think. Did you hear that in the wall?
We do not know what this man did or didn't do. Give him a trial at least. A fair trial.
Do you like her counsel? They have a
Kinda,
master,
yeah.
a slave, her Sir Barristan.
It's kind of like fair representation, honestly. Got one from each lifestyle to argue their point.
I will not have the son of the Harpy executed without a fair trial.
I like that.
I did not return to the capital to serve as your puppet, to watch you stack the small council with sycophants. I do not recognize your authority to dictate what is and is not my concern. You are the Queen Mother. Nothing more.
No.
I fucked with that. That was savage
You would
shit.
abandon your king in his time of need.
If he wants to send for me, I will be waiting for him. At Casterly Rock.
Damn.
I fucked with that. That was crazy. There's something about when someone just is like, I ain't falling for that.
I don't know what I have left to give you. You can give me the north.
Okay.
Even if I wanted to, I'm a bastard. Snow.
Well, that's a piss poor attitude. I can't.
Pledge me your service and you'll rise again as Jon Stark, Lord of Winterfell.
Okay. What the fuck's going on
I'll
here?
make you a Stark with the stroke of a pen.
Look.
It's the first thing I ever remember wanting.
Stannis, in Stannis' eyes, Stannis is a king, so he could do that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I swore a vow to the Night's Watch. If I don't take my own words seriously, what sort of Lord of Winterfell would I be?
Oh man.
Well, you already had sex, so you already
Yeah, but remember what
fucked up.
Sam said? Technically, the oath says you shall take no wife.
True. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was a good point. I forgot about that. I wanted to bring it up when he first said it.
How's your lady love, Slayer?
They cowered together in the larder during the battle for the wall.
Lies!
A baby and Lord Janus. I found him there after the battle was over, in a puddle of his own making.
Okay, Sam? Even the old guy left? He's like...
Janus was hiding with the women and children. Jon Snow was leading.
True.
He led the mission to avenge Lord Commander Mormont. Mormont himself chose Jon to be his steward. He saw something in Jon, and now we've all seen it too.
Jon's like, fuck.
But he's the commander we turned to when the night was darkest.
True, though. Yeah!
But who does Jon Snow want to command?
Night's Watch
Or the wildlings.
or the Wildlings?
Yeah.
Yeah, he brings up a good point.
Do you want to choose a man who has fought the Wildlings all his life? Or a man who makes love to them?
Damn.
It is time.
What? That's how we're gonna end.
fucking turkey neck over there was like, it's time to fucking cut him off. Jon didn't even get a chance. Oh, he did
The
get
guy
tried.
with the square pegs. All right, I get it.
I like to recast my vote. Wait, Jon
Give
had
it
the
to
circles?
Jon. Yeah.
I thought they said that Thorne had circles and the other one had squares.
No, they must have changed it.
They could have saved that. They just gave Jon the triangle. Oh,
Look,
fuck.
Jon won. That's the most important.
I know
part.
that just triggered me though. That just got me so mad.
Worth 100 pigeons to sword like that?
They only got daggers.
Nothing's worth anything to dead men.
Talk your shit.
Quickly, go!
Fucking.
Hey!
Fucking A, yeah, fucking. Oh, now you want to bring me in. I sat outside repeating the names of these goddamn people for 3 nights. And now you want to.
You lost this.
Would you dive in the water and get it? What the fuck? Hey. That was blackface. I don't give a fuck what you have to say.
No.
Yes, it was.
No. Not that
he was
not,
black and just peeled off a face.
He didn't paint his face black.
No, you're right. It's so much better. He took the skin of a black man and put it on his face.
Oh boy. Killed the masters.
Ashay, Misa.
Livas Gatori Ines. Idrenejum Bar.
Melprisha Shisha Ochni Escoreshis, Fosdal Crotching Wechi.
Ziluisias Hostaur.
Shespal Shemash Pakamvash. Spal Niwash Paproke Shil Shashinashwa Aj.
Oh my goodness.
Vitri Isa.
Damn.
I got my 2 cents on this. I got my 2 cents on this. I can't believe you're doing this. You're doing what I feared you were gonna do too.
Well, she has to have.
I know, but now you're creating a resentment amongst someone that was willing to. I guess it was almost like it's like, you know, having almost like a stalkerish, like I did it for you. It's like, yeah, but you can't. It's like
it's kind of like if you went to court and someone's daughter got murdered, and that person brought a gun into court and shot the murderer who murdered his daughter. It's like,
you know, that actually happened, right?
You got the slaves on one side and the master. Well, the former slaves on one side and the masters on the other.
I was saying, not slaves anymore.
Former masters.
Misa. Godlo. Ingelere.
But she can't. If she forgives him, then it sets a precedent.
Siederene jumbiles. Sebisa vala zirios sentas. Kilonarion morchon isa.
That's not good.
It's not good to scream mercy, but.
Misa.
She can't even look at him.
Damn. What do you do?
Don't freeze now. You can't now. You're too far. She has to do it. She's gonna do it, I think. It's a clean cut.
Uh-oh. The one guy on that side. Hey! What the fuck?
Why'd you hit me?
It's not good.
Oh my god.
Oh, Danny.
The sticky part of being a ruler.
There he is.
It's a big boy.
It is a big boy.
Who's a big chunker? What you doing? Oh, on there. He's like.
It's interesting though. He comes back at a time where she's in some peril, or not peril, but like she's in a pickle.
He's like,
look how big his head is.
He's like, I saw you slay that person. That was savage. I fuck with you.
Can I eat him?
I'm hungry as shit. But that I can't judge his facial expressions on how he feels. All right, I'm out. Peace.
Yep.
Scorches the whole fucking land and be like, oh my god. He seems bigger than the other ones, but we didn't get to really see the other ones fly, I guess. But from first glance, he's seen bigger. That was a cool ending. Is that ending the episode?
Yeah.
Really cool.
Okay. Brilliant ending. All right. That was our reaction to Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 2, The House of Black and White. If you guys liked what you were watching, leave a like down below and subscribe to stay tuned for more if you're not already. We have, I think, like 80% of our viewers, 75 or 80% of our viewers are not subscribed. So hit that subscribe button. It would really mean a lot. And also, if you want to watch our full-length reaction to this or the next 5 episodes, you can check that out on Patreon. The link for that will be in the description. With that being said, Zay, what are your initial thoughts on the episode?
I'm so far, I kind of like the pacing of this season. I don't know. For some reason, this season, it's weird. For some reason, this season's standing out a lot to me.
Okay.
Like for the first 2 episodes, it just feels, I don't know if it's the pace or like how they're developing the story, but it's like, it's standing, it doesn't feel like the other seasons, I guess. Like, not saying that any of the episodes feel the same, because obviously crazy stuff happens a lot of the episodes, but it's like as stuff is going on, it kind of feels like this is a very distinct season to me. For some, I don't know what it is. I really can't pinpoint it yet.
You feel something special about it?
Kind of, yeah. And it started with the premiere of it, really being a continuation. I guess it feels almost like it's very, very, very linear in this season. Like there's like nothing getting skipped, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like even like from the finale to the premiere from last season into this season, it was like, a couple weeks went by, but no major events happened. Now we are picking up right here, right now. Like,
well, I'm not sure the exact amount of time that went by, but enough to.
Well, I mean, you could argue it's only been a couple weeks. I mean, think about it. Daenerys couldn't find Drogon in season 4, episode 9 or 10, and then in the premiere, she said it's been a few weeks, a couple weeks. We haven't seen him in a few weeks. So it's only been a few weeks since we, so I don't know. I'm a big fan of the season so far. Very, very much a fan.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's get into, well, I'm not sure if that means that they saw him a few weeks back, but we didn't see it. It happened off screen after season 4. But I think based off of the dialogue,
him in a few weeks.
It means that a few weeks have passed. Correct us down below if we're wrong. But let's get into the dialogue, or not the episode, the Q&A. We have Arya introduced to the House of Black and White, who initially kept her out and eventually saved her, or you could say just showed up in the middle, maybe saved those guys. It's up to you how you perceive it. But he showed up, and now he revealed that he was Jaqen H'ghar and allowed her into the House of Black and White. So what are your thoughts about that whole situation and what path that may be paving for Arya?
Is this going to pave a path of her being some sort of like an assassin? Because Jaqen, I mean, you could argue is like an assassin, right? Like he's able to change his faces, and like he's clearly able, an assassin by definition and what people realize.
And when he changes his face, I know you kind of mentioned this, but when he changes his face, his arms change, his
everything. It's not just his face. It's like, what I'm saying? It's not just a mask. It's like his whole body. Right. And you could argue he's an assassin because, I mean, think about when she was giving him names, he's not only killing them, like he's killing them. People don't even know who the fuck did it. They're like, well, and you could argue that him changing faces assists that. That being said, is this going to be another step in her training? We got to see her trained by, the water dancer of Braavos. Now we're going to get to see her trained by, a master of disguise.
We got to see her under the Hound for a little bit.
So she got the skill of water dancing, like more like elegant type of fighting. Then she got the Hound, who's more like a brutal type of fighting. You could argue that's advantageous because now she has 2 styles of fighting under her belt. One where you have to be more of like a brute and be like, yo, take advantage of what you have. One where it's like, if you have to get, I guess, kind of fancy with it, you have the footwork and everything. Now, is this going to turn her into like, well, now you're going to understand how to stay in the shadows, be someone that avoids everything. I'm very interested to see if he explains why he didn't let her in the first place, right? Because knowing now that it's Jaqen H'ghar, I'm like, well, what the fuck? Why weren't you? I thought it was a completely different person. I was like, oh, this is just a different dude that's just like, I don't know, Jaqen H'ghar. maybe, I don't know, maybe he had to see something in her to make sure it wasn't like some sort of trap or something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, like, I don't know what the case was. I mean, he got her the coin back that she threw away and prevented her from getting into a situation where, yeah, she might have killed those men, but arguably she was at a disadvantage. That's 3 guys versus her. Not saying she would have lost necessarily, but they feared him. They saw that and they were like, oh, fuck. And I wonder if that's just the face he keeps in Braavos. Is that like what he keeps in Braavos and people recognize him, but they don't know like his true identity? I don't know. So I'm excited to see more of the House of Black and White for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. Next, we have kind of that whole situation with Brienne and Sansa, and it seems like both of them were like, "Look, you were. How come you didn't save my mom? And also, I saw you bowing to Joffrey and all that stuff. It just doesn't look good, and they don't trust her." And so they didn't. Neither of them ended up going with her. What do you think this means for Brienne? I know it seems like she's still looking to convince them one way or another, but what are your thoughts? Do you think she's going to be able to manage that, or do you think she'll eventually give up? And if she ever does get them, do you think, what is she going to do with them? Just stay by their side, or what? Basically, what are your thoughts on the whole Brienne situation going on there and Sansa?
Yeah, I think it's interesting to see what's going on and what's developing with them. I mean, it doesn't look good for her. I feel it sucks for Brienne, man. Twice she's had the attempt or the chance to kind of get Sansa and Arya. She's failed both times. Padre tried to tell her, like, maybe this is saying that your vow is fine. Like, you completed your vow. You did what you need to do.
You tried.
Right, you tried. She refuses to accept that, but my problem, I feel, is that loyalty might be at a fault, which could result in her getting killed or getting severely injured or getting them killed. Something happening. Now they're riding away to hide. I mean, I don't know what's her next step now. You now have had both these children in arm's reach. They both refuse to go with you. So what do you do now? Like, it almost seems like the obvious answer would be like, I'd be like, I guess give up. Like, I don't know. Like, what else do you do? I don't know. Like, Padre feels that way pretty much. He's basically saying like, yo, like, I think it's a lost cause kind of at this point. We tried twice and failed.
We'll have to see. Now, next up, we have a snake with the coin, the medallion of a lion, and it was a threat from Dorne saying, we got your daughter. And, that whole situation is interesting. And we now have Jaime and Bronn potentially heading over to Dorne. What are your thoughts on that whole situation? Do you think Bronn's going to agree to go? Do you think he's going to absolutely decide this is what he's going to do? Or do you think that he is going to basically not choose to go at the end of the day? And what do you think is going to happen with the 2 characters we saw in Dorne?
Here's my take on Bronn. I think that Bronn will for sure do it. Here's why I think he'll do it. Bronn is a man that is willing to kill, but arguably also likes less work that needs to be done. You could argue that having to kill the sister, he would basically have to kill his wife's sister so they could get that castle.
Well, it's not his wife anymore.
Well, right. Okay. So even so, but let's just start, I guess, from that basis, from when he was getting that information about the sister. In his head, he's like, well, then she has to go because there's the only way I get in that castle is if I kill her. Now he finds out it's not even his wife anymore. So he was already probably like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to kill her. This is gonna be an issue, like, because now you have to map out how am I gonna take out this woman so that way, and I don't get caught. That way we can arrive in this castle.
Well, also now there's a better castle up for grabs as well.
Better castle. You don't have to murder the sister of your wife. Now, no longer your wife, so you're not even guaranteed the castle anyway because it's not your wife. And you're with Jaime, and Jaime. I mean, look, if I'm going to get put on a mission with somebody to go take somebody out for a castle, I'd want to be with Jaime, even with his one hand. He's it's like, that's the best swordsman. Even with his one arm, it's like, what other swordsman could you really want to be with? That's going to be a very cool duo to see. I think that they'll succeed in their mission and what they do. And if they do succeed, as I plan, then naturally I expect Bronn to get paid because Lannisters always pay their debts. And I doubt that that's going to change anytime soon.
They're going to save Marcella.
Yeah, I think that they're going to save Marcella, or at the very least, if something does happen to Marcella, like drastic, like her getting killed, at least avenge her. What one occurs, I don't know, because Oberyn's wife, widow now, is very hell-bent on like getting reparations and, payback. Right. So I'm nervous, but I'm also excited. I'm nervous for her, but I'm excited for the show in general because we never really got to be in this area now, and now we're getting to see that. Like we saw Marcella get shipped off, and that was it. Now we're getting to see, it's gonna be. I hope they develop her character, and we get to like hear her dialogue with characters in that realm and everything. So I don't know. It's gonna be very, very, very interesting to see and find out what happens. I mean, do they succeed? Does Jaime or Bronn die? I don't know.
We'll have to find out. And then also we have the whole situation with Jon. He is now Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. That is insane. Yeah. What do you think the ramifications are of that? Do you think it's going to go smoothly? Do you think it's going to be bumpy? What do you think that whole situation is going to be like?
It never goes smooth. When someone else takes over and there's other people competing, it'll never go smooth. I mean, I would say that the bumpiest part is that Thorne's camp of men, people that supported Thorne, are going to be the ones that are going to be, the problem. Now, I'm not going to say they're going to outright cause issues and like forcefully fuck shit up and be like defiant. But I think that they'll be the whisperers if something goes wrong, this, that, and the other thing. However, this gives room for Jon to really prove himself. Again, I mean, he's proved himself a few times, but if he can prove himself as Lord Commander right now, like as Lord Commander, prove to these guys, I can be a leader, lead them to like victories and stuff like that. It might, Thorne might concede and be like, yeah, how
do you think that now that he's Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, how do you think that's going to affect? We already saw Jon's mindset already, but how do you think that's going to affect the proposal on by Stannis of I can make you a Stark, and essentially that would make you Lord of Winterfell, king in the north, basically. So what do you think that? I mean, he's
kind of deteriorates it, right? I mean, now it's you're Lord Commander of the. You can't be both, really, because they need you there. So it's gonna be kind of. I imagine it would be something like, look, you either give up this position. It's now a commitment. Do you want to be Lord of Winterfell or do you want to be Lord Commander? You can't be really both.
Lord of Winterfell, and I know it's not the most significant title as Lord of Winterfell, but Jon Stark. He's not.
Yeah, no, a Stark.
I mean, to him,
which would allow him to take over Winterfell, as like really a direct successor of Ned. You know what I'm saying? Like, like it almost is like, he grew up there. And yeah, he had to go to the wall and everything, but it's like he respected Ned very much. And so that is almost like an honorable thing to be like, holy shit, I could step into my father's footsteps.
It won't be. I mean, the only issue is that, Roose Bolton right now is Warden of the North. So there would be issues with just being still Lord of Winterfell.
That's a huge
that situation.
But you can't. Here's the thing you can't argue about right now is that Lord of Winterfell holds more weight than Lord Commander of the Wall, just because people don't. People view the Wall as just like a lost.
He made a vow, like he said. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that pans out. Lastly, we have the situation with Dany, and she had to make a difficult decision, which was the guy. She was trying to have somebody on trial, that one of the Son of the Harpies, and he was been murdered by one of the former slaves, and Dany had decided that was not part of the process that we established. You
Right.
cannot just kill people who are awaiting trial, regardless of who they are. And because you did that, we have to kill you now to set an example. And she kills him, and it triggered some negative responses. So much so that everybody went at war with each other.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you about that before we get into Dany and Drogon. So just let's talk about what you think that whole situation.
She made, in my opinion, the right decision, even though it was the hardest decision. And she stuck with it. She went up there, and I thought she was hesitating, and it seemed like almost she was going to cave and be like, you know what, don't kill him. But again, she's asserting rule. She's letting people know, like my law, like law is law. Like I get it. You did it because you wanted to serve me, this, that, and your thing. But at the end of the day, it's like you can't go. I know you're doing it because it's like, well, I did it for you and this, but it's like, you still broke the law. You can't kill this this person was awaiting trial. Like at the end of the day, she's trying to make it as, the name of the show, the name of the episode is The House of Black and White. She's trying to make it black and white at the end. She's like, I get it. The gray area is, well, he was doing kind of a good thing by taking out this person that was trying to kill your men, but law's law, and law tries to be as black and white and objective as possible. So she made a very tough decision. It resulted in, chaos, but that's expected with, all that's going on. And we've been alluding to this each episode, and I've been saying this, like, she's making these decisions, and there's going to be a decision where it causes a lot of problems, where it's going to cause chaos because, you're trying to appease both sides, but there's going to be a point where you have to kind of say, like, it doesn't matter if I appease you or you, this is it. This is my rule. I'm the leader. I'm the one that freed you. So I don't disagree with her decision. I think you kind of had to do it. It sets a precedent and lets people know.
Do you think she's going to be able to get everything under control and now that it is the way that it is? Or do you think that this is going to develop into a bigger issue?
I think she'll be able to get it under control. I think that she will just, but going forward, I think that I think she'll get it under control, but going forward, she's going to have to try to start putting her foot down again. I mean, Stannis was the one that said it, I think, in his episode. If people don't fear you, then why would they follow you? They follow you because they fear you, which you could argue it's like they don't necessarily have to completely fear you, but they should fear the repercussions of their actions. And that's what she's kind of creating right now. You killed somebody awaiting trial. It wasn't in your jurisdiction to kill that person and have them, we didn't get to go through that trial. Therefore, punishment's death. That was what the punishment is assigned for that crime. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you that we saw, we'll have to see how that turns out. Next, we saw Drogon show up at a time where Dany was feeling very troubled.
Yeah.
I'm curious about whether you think that is like a meta, it's like symbolism, or do you think that there's an actual, like, I guess you could say, connection that the dragon felt that there was something wrong? Like, do you think that was just a coincidence in show? Like, what I'm saying is maybe not, like, even if the directors intended it as a symbolistic thing,
do you think it was just coincidence, or do you think there was an actual bigger
coincidence for for symbolism's sake, or do you think that there's something bigger going on there?
No, I think that there is for sure maybe something. I would argue, yeah, I think that there's something bigger kind of going on with that. I think that her being the queen of the dragons, I know it's like you can make a loose kind of tie to it. But I feel like when we had been seeing, episodes previous, if I'm not mistaken, Drogon was kind of usually the one next to her. Or then the one kind of more like closer to her
and stuff,
right?
like that.
Yeah. So I think that they do have that natural kind of connection to where, and again, as we compared it kind of to like a child, like that's growing up and becomes rebellious and stuff, almost recognize like, oh, mom's down bad. Like, let me come check on her. And you know what? It was interesting seeing that interaction. She kind of went to reach for him, and I was like, is he gonna allow her to touch him, which I think it was kind of important. I think it was important to see that, you know, she got to reach towards him. He kind of like leaned in, but then he still flew away. So
yeah, I think it's
is
also,
that connection still gapped? I think probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also important to point out and to notice that when we saw the beginning of these dragons' lives, we saw a very tight mental leash, you could say, over the dragons. I mean, she told them Dracarys, she told them when to burn. They followed her every move. They were attached to her at the hip. Now, other than actual physical chains, you could argue she doesn't have any control over her dragons. I mean, she was able to lead them into that cell at that point in time, but now they're pissed. So it's like Drogon came and checked on her and left. She had no control over that, and her other ones are now pissed at her. So it's an interesting turn that took. Do you think that eventually she'll get the reins on them again, or do you think that they're always going to be this extra force, you know, until one or if all of them die, like in their lifetime? Do you think that they're going to be this extra force that may help her or not help her depending on what they want rather than what she wants?
I think that she will. I think the dragons kind of almost in a sense serve as a parallel between her taking over Meereen and all these other places. And I'm going to draw the parallel here, right? Like, because you had it in the beginning, right? Everything was sweet when she was taking over these other cities, and the dragons were also sweet. They were chained, tight mental leash, right? But as she started to expand her rule, thus as the dragons also got older, that leash became, you know, it loose, you gave it slack, and now it kind of is broke. Now you kind of have chaos going on, right? Now you could say it's like that. What she just did by executing that dude, thus what I was saying was you made the right hard decision to serve the purpose of showing there's repercussions for your actions, is almost like almost kind of being shown through the dragons too. Like, is this going to be a sign of the turn? Are she going to start to get control of the dragons? Also kind of get control of her rule? Because they seem like they're moving almost in tandem. It's like as the dragons started acting out, well, now we're getting news of these cities. The masters are coming back. People are right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of an interesting parallel to see. I know now some people probably say it's a reach. I think that, you know, obviously as the show goes on,
I might be able to. I think it's a great parallel that you drew, regardless of if it was intentional or not.
Right. Even if it's not, but
she has control over something, and that control starts to slip out of her hands. And
now she's trying to get it back,
or these cities. Yeah, it's interesting. So we'll have to see how all of that plays out. Again, if you guys like what we were watching or what you were watching, leave a like down below. Subscribe to stay tuned for more. If you're not already, you can hit that bell notification button to be notified the next time we upload a new video. If you want to watch our full length reaction to this, you can check it out on Patreon as well as our full length reaction to the next 5 episodes. With that being said, Zay, I know you have a Twitch.
Yes, I do. Come tune into my Twitch. I stream Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesdays and Fridays are with Cam and possibly some of our friends. Cam and I are either doing a playthrough or we might be doing a gaming gauntlet with a bunch of different fun mini games. Come tune in, come say hi. I also have my YouTube channel up by then where I will be doing full playthroughs, possibly, you know, pulling stuff from my live streams and everything. But yeah, with that being said, come tune in, come say hi in the chat. I'll be doing giveaways also for follower goals. So follow and get a chance to enter those. With that being said, Cam, I also know you have a Twitch.
Yep, just your average Cam. You could check that out. The link is in the description. But with that being said, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you on the next one, and peace.